What's up, my YouTube family? Many thanks for joining this particular live Q&A session with the school called Independence Community College. Today, we'll be delving much more into what the entire school is about. We'll be talking about their visions, their missions, and also we'll be talking about what will get you to study at the ICC school. That is the Independence Community College here in the United States of America. What do you need to get in? We'll be exploring, talking about your scholarship opportunities, be it financial aid, on-campus opportunities. We'll be talking about all of these things today. So if this is your first time of joining me, I want to say thank you so much for coming on board. Consider hitting the subscribe button so that in case we go live, in case we post some other wonderful exciting content, you will be notified about it. So I wanted to, first of all, I want to be hearing from you. Where are you now when we're talking about studying abroad? Where have you gotten to? Have you gotten admissions yet? What are you seeking to do? What are you confused about? What particularly, I just want to hear from you. Where have you gotten to? Are you about getting for your visa interview, but you're probably confused about something? I want to hear from you guys in the chat box. And also, please share the link with your family and friends so that they can equally join this wonderful session and also ask questions, right? So once again, my name is McRae Soga. And so today I have a wonderful guest from Independence Community College, and then he'll be the man of the entire show today. He'll be talking about the entire school, letting you know how you, as a prospective international student, maybe you are from Northern America, you are Latino, or maybe you are from Africa, you are from West, East, South Africa, or East Africa, wherever you are from, or maybe you are even from Asia. You've also been thinking that I want to study at a school that can make my dream come true. Which school can help me do that, or which school can help me achieve that? Today I have a wonderful guest with me who is going to talk about this prestigious school, and then I'm going to also be taking your questions, right? It's a live Q&A session, so whatever questions that maybe you have and then you need an answer to, please stay with me and start putting all your questions in the chat section, and then we will be addressing all of them. But as again, please be putting in the chat section. I want to know where you are currently. I've seen a couple of people saying that okay, McRae, I'm currently waiting for my I-20. Let me know what schools you have applied to. Let's know. Somebody's already asking that, hi bro, please can we come to this college on a low budget? Don't worry, this is a question that I have for my guest, and that he is going to be the main man and is going to talk about that and then have all of your questions answered. Keep on putting everything in the comment section. That is what I make the whole entire session fun. Once again, my name is McRae, and without much ado, please permit me to bring on board today the man of the moment. I'm going to ask him to just introduce himself, and then we'll get into this wonderful conversation. Now, this is the man I'm talking about. Hi, David.
Hello.
How are you doing, David?
I'm doing excellent. Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, I appreciate that too. How is the weather actually at your area right now? Because where I am in South Dakota, Vermilion, it used to be snowing pretty bad. Pretty bad. But I think because of the climate change, there's nothing like, there is no snow on the floor at this moment, which is a good story, a good news for all of us. But what about you? How is the weather like, at your area?
Yeah, this week it's a little warmer. It's not freezing, so that's good. No snow. It looks like it's just a little cloudy out, but we'll take that over the ice and the snow. So yeah, things are looking good right now.
I agree with you, David. So thank you so much for joining me today. And we're going to talk to our wonderful subscribers, our wonderful followers, and then our wonderful viewers today. Anybody who wants to come to Independence Community College, you are the man who is going to represent the entire school in this session today. So please, I want you to first of all begin by just introducing yourself, who David is, and then what you were doing at ICC.
Yeah, again, thanks for having me. So my title is Vice President for Student Affairs and Title IX Coordinator. Because we're a small community college in Southeast Kansas and rural Kansas, kind of in the middle of the United States, and again, because we're small, I wear many hats. And so some of the different areas of responsibility I have include our student life office, student activities, new student orientation, our student government association. I oversee our care team, which really looks out and tries to do our best to take care of our students, student conduct, basic needs, different student retention projects to make sure that our students are persisting on to the next semester, health and wellness, esports, security, housing, food services, and then what I'm here to talk about mostly today, international admissions, and then our international student success programs that we have. And so I'm considered the principal designated school official at the college. And so I help walk students through the admissions process that we have for ICC.
It's like one man staring at affairs of the entire school, because it appears you're the one leading, how do I put it, everything that an international student will be interested in. It's like we are talking to the right man.
Yes.
From the places of that is the designated school official, that we call it short, like DSO.
Yes.
It means that if I am a current student, even at ICC, and then I have some sort of issue, you're the one that I got to run to.
Yes.
If an international student decides today, a prospective student decides today that my dream school is going to be Independence Community College, it means that you're the one who probably append your signature on my I-20.
Yes.
Any issues with the I-20, it is you that I have to come to, right?
Yep.
Security, that is a bit of concern to, all of us. And it means that you are the one still in charge. Bro, we are talking to the man himself. So thank you once more. But I want us to also, if you can share what ICC represent in the Kansas community or the Kansas state, like whatever you seek to do. Can you share just a little bit light into that before we delve into the admissions aspect, the financial aid aspect, and then what other questions that our prospective students will have today?
Yeah. So, as you said, we're a community college. We're in Southeast Kansas. There's 19 community colleges in Kansas, and we like to think that we're one of the best, if not the best one. We have many different programs that students can apply to be a part of. We have a really strong athletic department with different athletic teams that you can be a part of. We also have esports, and so that's been growing and becoming bigger over the last few years. So depending on what game you play under esports, we're happy to talk to students about that. Yeah. And so, and just diving into just about the community college, for the most part, many students will come and be at our community college for about 1.5 to 2 years, and then they'll transfer on to a 4-year school. I attended a community college when I was much younger, and then I transferred on to the 4-year school. And my diploma, my bachelor's degree has that 4-year school's name on it. And so on my resume, I list my 4-year school. But I am so thankful I attended a community college, because the price, it was less than half the price, but the exact same quality. So, and that's the thing with our community college. We have really high quality, high standards, great professors, great staff to make sure we take care of students. But it's at a very reduced, significantly less cost. And so when you're looking at scholarships, the scholarship doesn't have to be as much because it's able to cover so much more.
That is wonderful. We'll be getting much more into the scholarship pretty much time soon. And so right now we will just go with this first question. That means that Independence Community College, you do not offer grad programs or undergrad programs. Like it's just like maybe associate degree?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So now for a student, a prospective student from anywhere who wants to now enroll at ICC, that is your college, what are the basic admissions requirements that this student can explore to get enrolled at ICC?
Yeah, and let me share my screen with you as I chat. And so if you can see that, so these are our admission requirements. And so one of the first things I'll start off with is we don't necessarily have a GPA requirement because we're considered open admission. We want students to look at our college and see it as opportunity and as the place where they can really as a jump off point for them to go to where they want to be successful. And so we want to make it as easy as possible. So what we do look for are high school transcripts. And so many times your secondary school or your high school. So we want to see those transcripts. Of course, you apply to the college on the application page where you will just list that basic information. Copy your passport. As you can see, number 3 there, it looks for a bank statement, and it's looking for a certain amount of money in the bank. But whenever students are going to receive a scholarship, we can reduce that amount all the way down to 0 if the scholarship is going to be taking care of that much.
So I see 16,000, like 16 grand on there. That means that for a student to get I-20 from your school, they need to have at least 16K or more on their financial statement, right?
Yes. And we could look at more than one financial statement. It could be 2 maybe, but for the most part, it's typically 1. But that is correct. Yes.
Oh, okay. And then with this, a student it can also, let me say, to get a scholarship, and then this will beat the price down again for you.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think? I mean, assumingly, could be the maximum scholarship that somebody who wants to pursue a degree or some sort of degree with you could get? I mean, assumingly, it doesn't have to be quite, I mean, right, but.
So it doesn't happen for all of our international students, but for some, they can get $16,000.
That is like a full tuition cover or whatever it is.
Yes, and that's housing, food, services, our cafeteria. That's all of the expenses, not just one of the expenses.
Wow. So this is getting interesting for me, which means that this 16,000, normally, because I have the chance to work with the international office from another school, so I kind of know how sometimes we deal with these things. We don't put the exact amount there. Sometimes it's estimated. We just say it's estimated, right? That means that what you have here as estimated price on the I-20 covers the cafeteria, that is dining, what the student will eat, right? And then it covers the housing.
Yep.
And then what about tuition too?
Yeah, tuition, fees, books, it's covering all of it. Now, 16,000 is an estimate, but I'm not going to be putting an estimate on there that's significantly wrong. So it could, and sometimes it depends if a student took, say, for example, that's based off of taking 15 credits. But if a student decided to take 16 credits, that would cost a little more because we have a cost per credit basis, essentially. But if a student took, slightly less than 15 credits, like maybe 12 credits, which is still considered full time, it would be a little less than 16,000. So for the year.
This is interesting because this is one of the cheapest I'm seeing so far.
Yeah.
That is why I'm asking you the question. just 16K, and then you're able to receive your first I-20 from a school here in the US, and then just this is good. Okay, please, you have the floor. Please proceed with this.
And then once a student arrives, we'll want them to have purchased health insurance, insurance policy, and I can always help them through that process. And then we try to go off of certain deadlines, but I've helped a student with the application process. And of course, there wasn't a long wait in their home country. Within maybe even 4 or 5 days from the semester beginning. So we can move really fast because we're very small and we can get things done pretty quickly. Yeah. But giving us as much time as possible to go through all of these steps is obviously going to be much more helpful. And then one of the last things,
before you proceed, a student may ask that, is it important for an international student to get enrolled on health insurance? Because I know people who are here, they don't get sick. They don't get sick. They don't go to the hospital. They don't go to the clinic. They don't go to see buy any stuff at a pharmacy or whatever it is. Why is it important for me to get myself enrolled on insurance here in America?
Yeah, it comes down to risk and like from a policy standpoint, there's a state law in Kansas specifically that says they have to have it. So from a policy standpoint, we have to have it. But from just a best practice, it's just a good thing to have because you never know what's going to happen. And you want to have that insurance in case something did happen. You would have more coverage than having no coverage at all.
Okay, and one thing I understand that health insurance in America is quite expensive. So it's better you get yourself insured to have taken care of at the initial stage before anything, God forbid, but anything happens to you. So thank you. True. Please continue.
And then one of the last things is English proficiency. And so on our website, if I were to scroll down, there's different tests, but the most common one that I see students taking is Duolingo. And we have a minimum score requirement of 85, which when I've looked across other colleges and universities is on the lower end. So we hope that that's a little bit easier for many of our applicants.
85 in total.
Correct. For the
Wow.
Duolingo.
I remember I wrote Duolingo before. I got 125. I think 125, which means that is way.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, but when it comes to, we have some countries that are exempted because the language of instructions in some of these countries, for example, like Ghana. Okay, I think you got them on there, right? Yep. Oh, excellent.
Yeah, I want to get all the information to the students, and I want to try and put it all in one spot to make it as easy as possible. And so about a year and a half ago, we updated this to try and include as many countries as we possibly were able to, that English proficiency wouldn't be required.
This is so many countries here, and of course I see Ghana in there. I see Jamaica. Is Nigeria also in there? Do we have Nigeria? Okay, Nigeria is there. Yeah, I see Nigeria there. Wow, this is excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, so now these are the things, the basic requirements, right?
Yes.
What is the, let me say, the acceptance rate at ICC at this point? Because people ask me all these questions, but what can you share about that?
So on our end, I mean, it's 100%. Because once they provide me with this information, again, we are open access, so we want students to come to our community college, and we don't have a GPA requirement. We want to make sure we get all these documents in, and they send them to me. But the parts that become sometimes the most challenging for our international students are the steps that happen after they send me all of this. For example, with the embassy or some other process connected to the embassy, and so that's where I try to point them to different websites. But that's somewhat not my area of expertise, but I try and find resources and support where I can to try and help them out with those parts. Yeah.
So at least 100%.
Oh yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Okay. And then one thing that bothers the international student is transcript evaluation.
Yeah.
What do you guys do about that when it comes to international transcript? Because if somebody is doing 3 years high school, it's probably different from someone who is doing 4 years. I mean, what do you guys do?
Yeah. So I work with another office at our college called the Registrar's Office. And we take a very careful look at the transcripts that they send us. And, some of the things we're looking out for, is there a signature on there? Is there a stamp? What year does it have on there? Because was it rather recent? If it wasn't, we might just talk to them about what their experience was like. And so we really try and work with the student to make sure we're getting as much information as we can. If it's not the right information, we're asking them, are there any other documents that you can send us? Because we want to work with the student and we want to make it as easy as possible.
That is good. So just before we start getting into scholarship, financial aid, and maybe on-campus job, I wanted to probably try talking about the international community present at Independence Community College, because there are some people, they also asked me that, McRae, this school that you're suggesting to us, what do you know about the international representation? So I want you to just, from your own words, share something with the student, what the international representation is at ICC.
Sure. So we currently about a year ago, we were at a high of around 27 international students. We have our ups and downs. Right now, we're on a slight lower number, around 14 students.
Okay.
But as I mentioned in my introduction, all the different areas that I'm responsible for, when international students come to ICC, they don't have to necessarily jump around to a bunch of different offices. They can just come to me, and I can work with them on their housing, on their cafeteria experience, on their IA-20, on any other international policies or procedures that we're trying to investigate and look at. If there's some place in the community that I need to take them to, we can jump in my car and I can take them over there. Sometimes when they do get a job on campus, they'll need this thing called a social security card.
Yeah.
And we can just easily drive over there and make the appointment and meet with those people. So because it's a smaller campus, you have less people that you have to be interacting with. I can try and be the one-stop shop to some extent and just help them take care of as much as they can. Yeah.
One thing I like about small college communities or small schools is a sense of family.
Oh yeah.
That's one thing I like about it, because at least I see usually, I mean, people, just the usual people from time to time, and then before you realize, you get to know one another, you become good friends and all that. So that's one thing, because I'm somebody that I could get distracted when I am at, let's say, this big or huge school, probably in California, in Texas, or maybe in New York. I don't even know if I'll probably be able to stay in class.
Yeah.
And before I know, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. So that is one key thing I like about, small town, I mean, colleges or universities like that. So
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with you. But I see on point 5 of this web page, the candidates must submit a non-refundable application or processing fee of 60 bucks. That is $60. So this means that this is the application fee.
Correct. Yeah. And I send them a link where they're able to make that payment, but I don't send them that link until we are successful in sending me all of the other items on this list for the most part, because I don't want to be charging them for something if we're not going to get to that far along in that process. So, yeah.
A student may be asking that, hi, Dave, can you guys give us some free waiver, application waiver? ICC, do you do that?
I think every situation has the potential for exceptions to be made, and I can always make that case if a student were to tell me the challenges that they're facing, and we can always look into that and see if an exception can be made. Yes.
Okay, which means that it is not automatic, but when a student comes and then they present a genuine, a good case, you can probably, make some sort of room for such students, right?
We can always look into it. Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dave. So if this is your first time you're joining us, guys, we are talking to Dave, who is the main man at Independence Community College here in the United States of America. We're talking about the school. We're talking about the admissions requirement. We are not entirely done, but we've spoken about how you can get admitted, talking about your bank statement. We said that the liquid or the amount of money that should be on your bank statement, at least whatever it is, it got to be like 16K or more, at least 16K or more, and then that can warrant you getting your I-20. But know that first of all, you need to get your transcript well out to us, and then the application fee, once again, is 60 bucks. But when you have a good case, Dave can do, I don't know if I should call it magic, some magic for you to make it happen. So Dave, we got a couple of questions that are running. Okay, I think the first question that came was about, hi bro, can we come to this college on low budget? I want to know your definition of low budget. I think that the guy is called Al Hassan. I think the 16K, if you ask me, I say it's a kind of low budget because they say it's going to cover your housing. Yeah. It's going to cover your food and probably some campus activities or whatever. Oh, yeah. And that is even including tuition. And so I don't know if you would get something lower than that, by the way, here in America. So please come back and then let me know what your definition of low budget is. But when you ask me, 16K, wow, it's good, right? Somebody is saying that let's see this. It says that McRae, please ask your guest if it is possible for someone with a bachelor's degree to switch to a different field like IT by studying at a community college due to its practical focus. What do you think?
Yeah, so we definitely many of our domestic students actually come from four-year schools. Some of them may have started at a four-year school and hadn't quite finished their bachelor's degree, or we could easily have someone who has a bachelor's degree who wants to attend Independence Community College. In that instance, we would want to be looking for their high school transcripts and their transcripts from the college that they were attending already. But yes, we would definitely be loving to talk to that person about the opportunities here for them.
Okay, so just before we get again to the scholarship aspect, we're talking about this question that is coming in from Kadosiana. It says that, please, do you have scholarship to any of the French speaking countries. Okay, so let me know if you are from a French speaking country or Canada, where you're currently from, Caduciana. Let me know so that I think that can help David to know how to actually answer some of these questions, right? So, Dave, I want us to get into the scholarship aspect, right?
Yeah.
Of course, it is not automatic. I don't know whether if it is talent based, if it's merit based, if it is academical based, whatever it is. Please enlighten us about scholarship opportunities at Independence Community College.
Yeah. And so I would start off with saying 80% of our international students are receiving a scholarship. 80 to 90% of them are receiving a scholarship right now. And the majority of the scholarships come from our athletic programs. So we have international students who are part of men's basketball, women's basketball, volleyball. We have a few with football. We've even had students who have been part of our cheer program, our cheer and dance program, who have been on a scholarship. Unfortunately, we don't have soccer, but maybe in the future we will, or American football. We don't have that, but we do have many other athletic programs. And then, as I mentioned earlier, esports, which has a variety of different games that are under the category of esports. And what the process is a conversation with the coach who is in charge of that athletic program, so that they're really the ones who are making the decisions on the amount of the scholarship. But many of our students receive a books and tuition scholarship, which covers a large portion of that $16,000 for the year. And then some of our students receive even more than books and tuition. It can cover some of the fees, sometimes housing, and even the meal plan. So it just depends on that conversation that the student has with the coach and what that's like. And we go from there. And that lowers, like I said, the bank statement requirement amount that has to be on that statement.
Okay, so that's fine. That means that we don't necessarily have, or ICC doesn't have, academical based scholarship. Maybe the person is coming with a very good GPA. Maybe the person has SAT, like SAT, very, very, very good. The person is thinking that, well, I know that when I come in, when I shoot in my application, I'm definitely going to get something. Maybe I'm not good at, let's say, sports, or whatever it is that I know that a lot of people are getting the scholarship, but I am just academically good. What can you say about that, Dave?
Yeah. So what I would say is we do also have different academic related scholarships related to music, to theater. And then there's also an international honor society called Phi Theta Kappa, which is at the community college level. They provide scholarships not only that would be helpful at the community college level, but also as someone begins to think about where they're going to transfer to after the community college level. So yes, there's different scholarships that we can always look into based on a student's interest. We have essentially a website that we have students apply for a scholarship, and it has them indicate all the different areas of interest that they're wanting to look into. And then it matches them up with scholarships that they may then apply for. So we try to, again, make it as easy as possible.
Oh, that means that at ICC, you also do music, theater, and art stuff too?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And students who get enrolled, they could equally get a scholarship for that program?
Yes.
How does it work? How does it work? Maybe somebody coming for athletic scholarship, because I did a video on that, how to, because I know a lot of international students, even from Ghana, they are very, 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 very good when it comes to athletics, like sports, very, 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 very good. So I'm looking at trying to touch on some areas that we don't have the information out there. For example, we didn't know that you can come here and study on athletic scholarship. It's not out there. Like to come here and pursue music, theater, or maybe art in a very good place, but with a good scholarship too. There's nothing much out there like that. So I want us to also dwell a little bit more on this, right? So for an international student who is good in sports, as you said, maybe athletics, who is good in theater, music, arts, like, how do they go about this? How can they receive this scholarship? Are they going to get admitted to the school first, and then they have a committee who does auditioning, or how do you actually go about it?
Yeah, so what I would say is, and I'm not trying to make things difficult, but there's just so many different ways that that the students can start the process. One way is they can begin the application process with me, and in that process, let me know where their interests are, and then I can connect them with the department head for music or the department head for theater or with football, for example. Or sometimes they reach out on their own with that person, the department head for music or theater or football, basketball. And then that coach reaches out to me and says, hey, I'm talking to a student in Ghana or wherever, and they're going to be so amazing in our theater program or with our music program. Can you help walk them through the international application process? Yes. And so, and then they let me know the amount that they're going to be getting in a scholarship, and I just reduce that requirement on the bank statement. Okay. And so there's just, again, so many different ways we can go about it. There's not really one way. Ultimately, we want to see them arrive here, and whatever steps we have to go to make that happen, we want to do that.
Okay, so now, Dave, I know about some other schools, how they deal with, let's say, athletic scholarship people. How somebody is here even asking this question that is Agoso from Ghana, I believe. He says that what are the requirements of studying music performance in your university on scholarship for international students? What can you say about that?
I want to give you the exact best answer with all the details, but what I would really want to have you do is connect with our music instructor and probably have some video time with that person so that they can really experience what your where your strengths are and all of your knowledge on the topic, and then basically we go from there.
Okay. So, can we have maybe a web page maybe shown on the screen or something where this international student, they can navigate to find maybe a staff, a professor, or somebody in the department of music, theater arts, or maybe athletic, any of the coaches or whatever it is, so that we can show this to the students, so that when they want to get on board, or send them an email or call them just to introduce themselves out, it will be easy for them. So guys, as David is trying to get us this resource on the screen, please, we are still waiting for your questions, and then we will help to answer them. Okay, so this is what we have to show you.
Yeah, and so this is the website. So if you just, hover over About Us, you can click on the Contact Us button. From there, you go to the right and it says Faculty and Staff Directory, and that's where you can find all of our faculty and staff. And so you just keep on scrolling down and you'll find the folks who are part of the different programs. So for example, Instructor Blevins, he's our professor for visual art. And then down here, if you keep going, we'll eventually get to the different areas of all of the academic areas at the college, from athletics to academic areas. And so and then here is where you would email them, and you could even call them to their actual office at the college if you wanted to as well. So lots of options on reaching out, and that's exactly who you can, where you would go to find who you want to reach out to.
How would you suggest for an international students, basically trying to teach them how to write this email to these professors? How would you, advise them to introduce themselves to this faculty?
Yeah, I would start off with just, introducing yourself, dear professor, letting them know your name and where you're from and where your strengths are. If you're really proficient and knowledgeable about music, then just letting them know all the experience and knowledge you have around music. And if there would be a time that you could set up to chat with them further about your strengths and opportunities for coming to ICC, and you're always welcome to reach out to me or copy me on that message if you want to, but reaching out to the person who would be connected and is the expert at the college on that topic, for example, with music, that would be the way to go though.
Okay. Thank you so much. So somebody is asking, because the person, not necessarily a question, the person says that, how I wish I hadn't done my undergrad. Is there any plans to add graduate school to ICC in the future?
Well, we're always looking at different options and opportunities, and we want to provide our students with as many as possible. And I've seen some community colleges look at options for offering bachelor's degrees, and so who knows, that might be something in the future at some point. But for now, we have the 2-year, which is primarily the associate's degree that's offered.
Okay, so now to talk about on-campus jobs, right?
Yeah.
How does on-campus job things, I mean, how do they look like at ICC, the Independent Community College? Can you tell us about that? And then how can a student probably, whilst in their home country, try to secure an on-campus job before
Yeah,
arriving at, your school?
yeah. So I'd start off with the only jobs for the most part that international students are able to have is on campus.
Hmm.
They're not able to find a job off campus. And so
Yeah.
when they're looking at jobs on campus, some of the more popular places at Independence Community College include our tutoring office. And so in order to be a tutor, you would want to be really knowledgeable about a certain subject, for example, biology or certain math areas that you would want to be really knowledgeable about. And as far as and then some of the other places could be in housing, in our cafeteria. There's just maybe one or two in our maintenance department. We have a couple in our admissions department where you can kind of be an ambassador for the college. Almost every year, I've been here 4 years now, and almost every year we've had an international student as an ambassador, which is we're really excited and happy about that. So there's lots of different places on campus where folks can find a job. And I would suggest, when they're communicating with me about the different application areas and sending me that information, also just letting me know if they have an interest in general, just to have any job, or if they have a specific area that they'd like to find a job in, and I can connect them with that person. And many times I've seen international students wait until they arrived to begin that interview process. But there's nothing wrong with starting early and taking initiative, and I can connect them with that person. And sometimes we could set up, a Zoom meeting or Teams meeting and see what's possible as far as finding that employment.
Do we have any particular website that if the student wants to maybe, get to look at the on-campus jobs available? Is there any place that we can see that? Because I know that some schools, you got to be admitted first, which I know probably will be for everybody though. And then you log into some sort of, I don't know if I should call it handshake or some other places that you can, get to see some available on-campus jobs. At ICC, how is it like over there?
Yeah. So, sharing my screen again.
Okay.
Let's see here. Yeah. So if you were to click on where it says faculty and staff positions, because we're such a small community college, that's where all of our student positions are going to also be indicated. One of the best things to do, because we are so small, is to be connecting with the person, whether it's over email or eventually through a video call. But many times once a student arrives, they'll just walk over, because it's, again, we're a small community college, so it's easy just to get there and talk to the person that's specifically in charge of that department and let them know about their interest in employment for that area.
Thank you so much. So now one thing will be done pretty short. So thank you so much for this, even this time that you took out of your business schedules to just come and speak with us. Thank you so much. So student or some prospective students, they would always ask me, the McRae, why do you think I should come to a community college rather than going to a university?
Yeah.
Because there's some sort of notion out there that community college, they don't have a lot to offer. But even with this discussion that I'm having with you, looking at the scholarship opportunities that you even spoke of, the cost of attendance for ICC, it is actually personally giving me a redefinition of whatever it is, right? People go like, well, when they take community colleges to there's embassies or visa interviews, they usually visas don't get approved. But I'm like, that isn't entirely true, because I have been to or I've seen people who are here in the US. They are not studying at, let me say, Harvard, Stanford, whatever it is. They are at community colleges. That is where they're studying, and they're living their life. They're living their life. So my question is always that these students, how were they able to find their way to the US attending the community colleges? Because they also went to the same US embassy, the same visa interview that you're talking about, right? So I want to hear from you. You have been in this seat for a while. So I want you to share with us, why do you think these things happen? And then if there's some encouragement, some enlightenment that you can throw on this for us, I would greatly appreciate that before I let you go, sir.
Sure. So I'll mention a few things. The first thing that I'd mention is there's a word called accreditation that community colleges need to achieve, and the big four-year schools need to achieve. And we work with the same accreditation standards and organization as the four-year schools do. And so, and that's something we really strive to achieve. And so we're producing quality opportunities for our students just as much as the four-year schools are producing quality opportunities, because we receive accreditation from the same organization as our four-year partners do. And then, like I said, a community college, our funding model is just different. We receive funding from our community, from the tax base, and then also a small portion from tuition and fees as well. And so it's just coming from multiple places, which allows for the price for students to be a little bit less. And then the great thing about community colleges is you can take many of those first 1 or 2 year classes that are going to be your general education classes. And during that time, if you hadn't narrowed down exactly what you wanted to study, you can be thinking about it and exploring different options while you're attending the community college, and you'd be paying a lot less while you're still thinking about it.
That makes a lot of sense. I mean, what you just said, that means that if I want to maybe pursue a music at maybe in a bigger school, I'm talking about school that has an enrollment of about 50,000 or maybe even like 2,000 every semester. So maybe if I want to pursue music, eventually I got admitted over there, but there is no scholarship for that music program or athletic program over there. Why don't I just start with a community college that I know that my expenses are going to be less? Number two, I'm also going to receive some form of scholarship, because I've spoken with the DSO, I've spoken with some faculty members, some resources that I was able to get in touch with. They've assured me that I'm going to get a scholarship over there. So why don't I find my way to just start with this community college that has a lower expenditure, so that maybe after my 2 years of maybe associate degree, then I can just transition to this school to probably just further it or whatever it is. So that is even giving me an exposure to having a community college lifestyle, and also giving me another exposure to a bigger school and everything too. So that is how I try to, assume all that. But one question here is saying that I think this is from Luis. It says, what are admissions requirement for undergrad? Okay, I think we spoke about that. So we're going to share. Can we have the website link, please, maybe in the chat box, please? I think you have a chance to paste the link on or in the chat box, so that they can refer to that. It will be grateful to us. So guys, this is what we're talking about. This place, the scholarship, let me start by admissions, 100%. David is saying that you're definitely going to get something. The enrollment is like 100%. So Dave, you don't have any enrollment fee or whatever it is, right?
No.
For international students.
When you mean enrollment fee, what do you mean exactly?
So international enrollment deposit, because I know there's some schools that before you get in there, you have to pay international enrollment deposit.
No, we do not have that.
So the reason why some schools they do that, right? They know that there are some students when they go to these visa interviews, and then they take the visa in the name of these schools. Before you realize, when they come to the US, they don't get to the school.
Yeah.
So there's some people are like, well, why don't we put a refundable money or stuff like that on them, so that when you pay it, at least whatever it is, we are also earning something like that. So that means that ICC, you guys don't do anything like that.
We do not do that. Correct. Yeah, correct.
Okay. So guys, this is the clarification that we are getting to you. If you happen to be a prosperity student, and wherever you are coming in from Africa, from Asia, from Northern America, or from Europe, whatever it is, I want you to also try considering the school that we call Independence Community College. We've spoken so much about some of the things that they have to offer. I'm talking about scholarship opportunities. I'm talking about funding opportunities. So if you're a student, academically you're good, there's something here for you. If sports wise, athletics, they said they're yet to start soccer, although some of us we love soccer. So if you're good, you can run, you can sprint, you can throw, or you can jump, whatever it is. I advise that pick up your phone or your computer just after this show, draft a very good email, and then introduce yourself to the man known as David. Right? Introduce yourself to him that hey, this is and this and that, this and that, this and that. Can he help you throughout? Because maybe you want to just know about the step-to-step processes to take, right? And then if something is beyond him, I believe that he's going to help you to direct you or connect you with some other faculty member or any resource person that can be of help to you. What is wrong? Please consider this step. All right, consider this step. He says that when it comes to application fee, the base money, the base fee is $60. That is $60. However, room is available for people who have some sort of situations. These people genuinely, they are experiencing some financial hardship. They've seen that their story it's quite intriguing, is genuine, is good, and then they are willing to help the students. Please also draft a good email to David. David, can we have your email? Maybe in the chat box. Or okay, I think you sent it to us already. So guys, I'm having the email in the chat box. Please try and put it up for maybe send an email to you. Okay, I have it on the screen. So that is DADAMS. That is D Adams at indycc.edu. Send him an email. Whatever help that you need, whatever guidance that you need, please let him know about it. But also I advise that first, as a student, you want to come to America to study, learn how to go to the school's website. You have to learn it. As a student, you have to learn it. You have to learn it because I mean, if you're not able to do some of this simple stuff when it comes to research and stuff like this in America, bro, you're going to suffer about it. So learn how to first of all get them so that when you meet David, maybe on a Zoom meeting, Google Meet or whatever it is, you guys are having an informed discussion. It's not like he will tell you from 0 to 10. Another student will come, he needs to repeat himself 0 to 10 again. Sometimes, guys, it gets so tiring. it gets so tiring. So that is what we're talking about. I'm going to head back to Dave to for him to give us his last words. Why again he thinks that with the numerous number of colleges here in the US, why an international student should settle with ICC. I'm talking about the Independent Community College. Dave, I have that with you, and then I can just let you go.
Yeah. Well, again, thank you so much for this opportunity. What I would just end off with is that we are an amazing place with amazing employees and faculty who care so much about our students. We want to see them succeed, and we're going to try extremely hard when they're in class to help them and support them in all of their areas to help them succeed and reach their goals and help them get to the place where they want to be. We're extremely low cost, and so you're able to save money while you're attending, and we provide you with an amazing experience. And I'm here to help you with any of the admissions requirements. And if you have questions about any of those steps, I'm happy to help out and answer any of those questions. Just reach out, and I hope to hear from you all soon.
Thank you so much, Dave. I know that I said that was the last one. I've received a couple of questions about from the prospective student. I beg your pardon. And then they've been asking me, okay, McCray, with whatever that is happening in the United States of America right now, do you think that it is safe for us to still come and study with you guys in America? Because this is a new administration, and whatever it is with, I mean, the hula baloo, you know what is it already, Dave? So maybe just in 30 seconds or just a minute or what like that, what encouragement can you share? Word of encouragement you can share with some of the international students? I know I'm planning a whole chat on this with some other colleagues and all that to just talk and encourage the students that, hey, whatever is happening, it has nothing to do with you. You are eligible, whatever it is. But I want you to hear, we want to hear from you, basically.
Yeah. I would say there's going to be ups and downs with what we hear coming from national policies and other folks in the United States. And I think what we have to do is focus on, you have goals that you're here to achieve, and we're going to help you along the way with anything that happens in your life and that it's going to ultimately help you be successful. So we want to refocus and get back on the track of just focusing on your academic success, your overall success as a student, and just again reaching your goals that you have set for yourself. Even in the midst of sometimes what might be chaotic messages that are being sent out, we still want to be here for you to support your success.
That's what we're talking about. We still want to be here and support your success, whatever it is, whatever that is happening. Know that ICC, they are there for you. Whatever guidance you need, please consider reaching out to Dave, and then he'll be of a great resource to you. David, we want to say thank you so much. And on behalf of me, the viewers, subscribers, and then our followers also, I want to say thank you so much. Thank you so much. I want to teach you. There's a way we say thank you in my language. We say akbenao. Try saying it. Let me hear.
Aquanao?
Akbenao.
Akbenao?
That's right. Thank you so much. I love culture. So when I meet new people, even at the office at the front desk, when I'm there, and then some of these students come from Asia and all that, I try to speak their language with them.
Sure.
And then when they hear me talk about stuff with them in their language, they go, oh, you can speak it? I'm like, no, I just know how to exchange regards, and that's it. So I love to share that with my people also. So Dave, once again, I want to say thank you so much. I know you've been a busy man, but you were able to squeeze yourself to make this thing happen with us. I want to say thank you. I know that it's going to be worth it 100 times. Thank you so much, Dave, once again for coming to us. I'll see you on the other side, Dave.
Hey, bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, wow. What a beautiful session that we had with Dave. Guys, there are a lot of opportunities. That is what I am on a mission about. I'm going to let you know a lot of the things that you can explore. I mean, there are a lot of schools without some sort of heavy requirements that you're thinking of, like you must evaluate your transcript, you must make sure that you get about 3.5 3.8, you must make sure that you have GRE, you must make sure that you got English proficiency, Duolingo, IELTS, TOEFL, or whatever it is. Listen, there are a lot of schools. I told you that for me, I didn't even write the DRE or whatever it is, because I was on a mission. By the grace of God, I was able to find it, right? And so I am also going to be here, try to help you to change or redefine certain things to you, so that this can help you to explore and coming to America is not like, it's not supposed to be stressful. You just need to have the right document. No, first of all, have the right mindset, have the right document, have the right information, know what to say and what to do. You are good to go. That's it. So if you don't have the right information, you'll be there struggling about a lot of things. Number one, you don't even know what schools to apply to. You don't know the schools to apply to, but there are thousands of schools, right? But sorry, we are trying to bring out to you schools that you will not suffer to get some of these things. You just need to, when you get to this visa interview, the story is yours. Make sure that you own the story. You got to own the story. Let the story be personal about you. Don't go to this visa interview trying to say something that 3 or 4, 5 people in the same queue with you, they have already said. I said it in my visa interview. Whilst I was in the queue, I just knew that 1, 2 people in front of me, for some weird reasons, I just know that no, they're going to deny them, because they keep on, like, how do I put it, repeating the same answer. How can you just go every time they ask you, like, what are your plans after your degree? What do you plan to use your degree for? The same thing. Oh, I plan that when I get back, I'm going to use this degree to take up a high position. Like 4 or 5 people, they've already said the same thing and they've denied you. So why can't you just be innovative, bro? Why can't it just be innovative? Just cook something, like, cook something that, oh, before this, I was doing some research and then I was using this data to work on it. And then I wanted to use this data to work at this company, right? It's a project that I've been on. I've worked with this company with this particular data, but I wanted to upgrade. However, the requirement for that new position, it has to do with this kind of degree, a bachelor's degree or this associate degree, or maybe this undergraduate degree, or whatever it is. This is how you just oh, I know it's not easy, but God will help all of us. Right? God will help all of us. I want to say thank you so much for coming on board. If this is your first time, once again, please consider hitting the subscribe button. Show me some love. And to all my the new members and whatever it is, I want to say thank you. Thank you, right? I'm just on a mission to let you guys know. Me and my team, we want to let you guys know what are the untapped places. That is why we had a video about athletic scholarship. A lot of people did not know, because I was friends with people who were good in Ghana. They could run, they could jump, play basketball. Like, do you know where they ended up? Most of them ended up going to prisons or police or whatever. It is not bad. I'm not saying it's bad, but they never thought of the fact that I could leverage on this, my God-given talent, to, travel abroad and go do something also. I mean, they had no information like that. So some of them, I saw the ending of one of them. It was so bad. I'm like, bro, your name was there once we were in school. Like, wherever we go for inter schools, it is your name. Like, the whole audience, like everybody's just shouting your name. They're clapping your name. But see, now system and situations they've clapped you out. Think about that. They were clapping you for you one time, but just because you didn't know what to do, life became miserable for you. You had no information on how to make informed decision. All those things happen for you. So guys, we want to bring these things out to you so that you know what to do. All right. Let me not talk too much. I want to say thank you once more for coming to share this beautiful time with me. Let me just know what your questions are, and I'll be grateful, or let me say I'll be helpful to you. Let me put it like that. Right. So thank you once more, guys. My name is Makre Sogan. I'll see you at the other side. Keep the hope alive and keep the focus alive. Jesus loves you. I'll see you. Bye-bye. The two bags I brought today.